sure he's videotaping us, and I will see my 9 million ums. And it's funny, I did a presentation with Chief Steve Mims, and it was behind the badge, and so I was talking about dating violence and domestic violence, and they had videotaped it and gave me a copy, and I said, you know, after 10 minutes of watching that, it would be a great drinking game, and you'd be trashed, and between the ums and the ers and it was horrible, and I have not gotten better at it, so I am thrilled that Bill is going to be here and tell us about all our little faux pas that we tend to do when we are public speaking and have to be in front of people. So we are thrilled to have you, and thank you very much.
Hello, how we doing?
Good.
My name is Bill Patti, and although it's Valentine's Day and all these beautiful women are here, I have nothing for you except my speech today. So I hope that will serve for all of you who aren't getting a Valentine. Anybody not getting a Valentine today? Because I am single. I'll see you after. I'll tell you what, it's exciting to be with you again. I've done a couple of ABWA meetings, and it's always exciting to meet the ladies. And I want you to know that today I learned something on the internet again. Yes, I learned that first impressions are made of people in 4 to 8 seconds. Isn't that amazing? There, 8 seconds. That's it. What do you think?
We're highly impressed.
Now, what do you like about me? I haven't really done anything, have I?
Your deep voice.
Wow, thank you. Sense of humor is good. What else? Smile is good. There you go, ladies. I've got 3 dates. I'm all set. And I'm single, right? The fact of the matter is, it's true. We are being looked upon critically by people very quickly, aren't we? Today, some of you showed up for the first time to this meeting, so everybody was looking you over. Lovely shoes, by the way. Love her hairstyle. Where did she get those glasses? I have no idea. That's the things that are going through our minds as we look at someone. Isn't it interesting? And from that, we develop an idea of whether we actually like this person or we don't like this person. We haven't met some of these famous people we're so attached to, right? And yet somehow we either like that performer or we dislike that performer. We've never met them. We don't know what they're really like because of that first impression that we saw when we first saw them for the first time. So this is very, very important that we use everything at our disposal to make a good first impression with people. And that includes our voice and speech. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Voice and speech. I assume you all can talk. Very good. And many of you are old enough to remember the good old days. The good old days were the days, of course, when we actually communicated with people. Now, I'm not talking about this group because you're very good communicators, but I'm talking about the people who go home after work. They're very, very tired, so they stop at Little Caesars and they get a pizza for the family. It's $5, so I'm going to pick that up for the kids, and I'm going to throw it on the table, and they're just going to eat it in the living room, or maybe they're going to eat it in front of the television or by their computer. We don't sit at the table anymore, most of us, do we? We don't discuss the day with our family. We don't know our neighbors unless a hurricane knocks down a tree in their front yard. Things have changed a lot with communication. We have these lovely cell phones doing everything for us. I remember, I'm so old, I remember party lines. Anybody remember a party line? Put your hand up. Man, you're really old. The fact of the matter is, party lines, for those of you who are too young to remember, my father bought a party line from the phone company to save money. Because if I put other families on the line, we would have a cheaper phone line, but we would also have, in my case, 4 families from the neighborhood on the same line. So when I picked up the phone to call my girlfriend, Mrs. Manzik was always on the line. You can't believe it's like Mayberry all over again. Honest. Just really 30 or 40 years ago. And now we have cell phones that do everything for us. Look how far we've come And yet, have we really gone a long way? Are we really communicating with people? Or do we use only our thumbs to talk to each other? We got a lot of people that text here, Twitter. We have a few, not too bad, very good. The fact is, a lot of people are doing it thousands of times a day, to the point where they do not communicate. If you don't believe that, just drive up to McDonald's sometime, go through the drive-in teller, and try to understand what the person on the speaker is telling you you've ordered. Impossible to do, because no one under 30 knows how to move their jaw, their mouth. They were never taught how to speak. They think they're speaking, but they're mumbling. They're speaking too quickly. Those are the two things people do the most. So these are the kinds of things I'll be talking about today. We're going to talk about how you can improve your life, your career, your love life. Oh yes, your love life with your voice. So much you can do with this mucous membrane right here. Yes, this is a mucous membrane, you know. This is actually something you should not use tea to lubricate. All of you tea users today, shame on you. That contains caffeine. Caffeine dries our body out. We don't want to dry our body out. We want to use only water. So who took water today only? Give yourself some applause, because, wow, one person. Very good. The fact, too, all right. The fact is, thank you very much. Patty says she did it as well. You know, if Patty and I had married, she'd be
Patty.
Patty.
Funny. I didn't think about that.
Just thought I'd throw that in there. I meant the whole table back there, by the way. And I flunked Dale Carnegie, but I actually know that's Cheryl, and that's Connie, and that's Patty, and that's Britt, and that's Joanne. Give me a hand. Memorize everybody's name, and that takes a lot of effort for me. The one problem I have is names. You can say a name to me, I forget it immediately, so I have to make a real special note to memorize everybody's name. And I talked to everybody at the table today, and they all have very interesting stories. Even Britt, who I bet you didn't know, is from Norway.
Yeah.
She is from Norway. She has an incredible accent. It is a very sexy accent. Listen to her. And you know, she had great stage presence when she came out here, if you noticed. She moved away from the table, right into the middle here, and she commanded your attention, didn't she? That's what you should do when you get your 30 seconds to make your little sales pitch. We talked to Cheryl. Cheryl had an interesting comment about speech and voice. She was talking about people from North Carolina. Anybody from North Carolina here today? Don't talk to Cheryl. She was talking about the heavy accent that people from North Carolina have. And how... Yeah, well. Anyway, the fact is, we do judge people on the basis of what they're wearing, and who they arrive with, and the kind of car they're driving, and their friends, but we also judge them on their speech, where they come from. Oh, if you meet somebody from the Bronx, what are you thinking in your head? Oh, another New Yorker. Or somebody from New England who says clam chowder. How about the Midwest? We're not quite sure where they're from exactly. They have pretty much the King's English. And then we have the Deep South, of course. How many from the really, really Deep South here? Anybody from Alabama, Georgia? Right here. Where are you from? Alabama. Now, I'll tell you, they have beautiful accents, but sometimes it's difficult to understand what the heck they're saying, because people from Alabama tend to not move their mouth. They talk like a little bit like this. They just don't want to move the mouth because it's too much work to talk that much, so they just do like this. So, and I'm making a generalization about different areas of the country, but people do that. If you say you're from a certain section of the country, that can get you in problems too, as far as that first impression. So today we're going to learn about how we can improve our voice and speech, how we can make a better first impression, how we can make more money, find better love, and develop more confidence. Number one is money. How do we make more money with our voice and speech? We give people customer service. Remember customer service? It was in all the papers. Customer service is what we used to have when we have people running companies who cared about the customer. Now, I have a lot of problems with customer service because I seem to get phone calls from many of the companies I deal with. There's a security company that calls me. They have 3 initials. The first starts with A and the last one ends with T. And they seem to have a problem hiring people who can move their mouth properly. Because I had a call from a gentleman the other day from that company, and I couldn't understand anything he was telling me about